And this week we're going to talk about the right quality, the second R in our 6 R's of purchasing. In this part, we're going to talk about the definition of quality, so starting with the definition and working down through the different types of quality systems and methods. The first slide should be no presentation surprise at all. It is the objectives of purchasing. So quality in the context of the objectives of purchasing. Now, if your strategy of your organization is to have a very high quality product, in fact, that may be your competitive edge, who knows? One of the things we must do in purchasing is ensure that quality is part of our practices, but also in the level of quality we are requiring for our products to be purchased as. So there needs to be alignment all the way through. We also need to make sure that if we expect a certain level of quality, that our suppliers are expecting the same from their suppliers and so on. When it comes to supply continuity, a quality can really mess up your ability, or lack of quality, can really mess up your ability to sustain supply continuity. For example, if supplier ships product and none of it is good, and you need that desperately to run your production line, you will run out of product and that will be a disruption to supply continuity. That's an example of the negative side of supply continuity and quality. When it comes to managing the purchasing process, obviously we want to do good quality work internally in our processes, so we need to focus on that. But in addition, how we communicate quality expectations with our supply base, manage those, and develop our suppliers is part of that purchasing process development. So, that in a nutshell is how quality and purchasing work together in the objectives of purchasing. On to the next slide where we look at, here we are in the 6 R's, number 2 on the list is the right quality, and that is reviewed in chapter 4 of your text. So I've been saying this word quality all over and over again. What does it actually mean? Well, it means different things to different people. Well, by definition, quality is the conformance of requirements for fitness or use. So it's quality conformance to a standard that is the absence of defects or whatever the standard may be. It could be the standard is that the product be blue in color. Then if it is not blue, then it's not conforming. Quality of design, on the other hand, is the degree of customer satisfaction with the design and its functions and fitness for use. There are really 5 different approaches to quality as we try and define conformance to standard and fitness for use. There's transcendent quality, which is a condition of excellence. You look at above and beyond the standard performance in an industry. You're saying that it is the most excellent and perfect and the best we can make it. That is the level of quality that we'll try to attain. A little bit different. It's more on the quality of design and satisfaction side. Product-based is looking at an attribute, so we're looking at conformance to a standard or a specification. User-based is also a fitness for use. An example of this is, years ago, I was purchasing product from a supplier for one of our applications, and come to find out, it worked in the application, but when we encountered a quality issue when the product started melting, found out that it was never intended to be used in the automotive industry. So from a quality perspective, it was never the best quality, but it was never intended to be in that application. So understanding that is important. Manufacturing-based quality could be conformance to requirements of production. And then value-based, degree of excellence in accepting at an acceptable price. So talking about transcendent quality, but looking at value, overall value. So supply chain and quality work well together. And the reason is supply chain thinking and quality helps you be more effective in achieving the level of profitability, but also the level of customer satisfaction necessary on that fitness for use side of the definition of quality. first, by applying supply chain thinking, by first looking at what does the customer want? What do they want? What do they need? What are they expecting? What they like, but they don't necessarily have to have. Focus on what they define quality as. And that could be in all aspects of the business, not only in the quality as far as conformance to standards and fitness for use, but also their expectations for flexibility, for service, for after-sales service as well, warranty, return, flexibility in shipment, short lead times, consistency, and cost savings. These are all aspects of customers' perspective of what they define a quality level of performance, not only the product itself, but all the other activities that surround it. Now, in many industries, there is a established standard of quality for product conformance and even design. Usually with products that have been out in the market for a while and they're mature, there is a level of acceptable quality. Now, people may be willing to buy a product that has a higher level of quality, and that would become an order winner. When it's just the level of quality is at a standard that is equally attainable, it becomes an order qualifier. To even get your foot in the door, you have to have a certain level of conformance to a standard and fitness for use. So quality can be an order winner. It isn't always the case. I know that in the automotive industry, particularly, you had to have a certain level of quality performance and conformance to a standard of the product specification to even be able to quote the business. So it was not the order winner, and it's not a reason to give a higher price for your product. So it differentiates between industries, is what I'm telling you here. So to understanding that customer expectations should be first employed before going on and defining what your quality systems and practices are, it's important to understand what the level of quality is over the product life cycle. Quality standards will change. Consumers will dictate what their level of acceptance of quality is. As a product is starting out, there's a little more leeway than when a product is mature in the market and there are many different substitutes out there. So it will change and it needs to adapt. In addition, as we look at quality methods for improvement, we're looking at maintaining a level of conformance and design and fitness for use, but we're also looking for opportunities to eliminate waste and eliminate cost. Okay, so you got to find the best systems if you're in the quality aspect of the business. Procurement managers and buyers don't need to necessarily worry about this at this point. This is just awareness. So if there's a whole field of quality management, if you're interested in that, dig into it. And one of the things you'll be doing is trying to figure out the best complementing forms of systems and methods to achieve the level of quality necessary to meet your customer expectations. As a point of awareness, what we're going to do now is look at a few systems and methods, and then in the next presentation, quality control tools that will help us with problem solving when quality systems break down. So some systems that are commonly used in this day and age in modern industry are here on the left-hand side of the screen. We got total quality management, Six Sigma, benchmarking activities, and then standard certifications through companies like ISO. So there's that. And we have on the right-hand side some methods to the madness, which are used in supporting all of these other systems. We have problem-solving tools, which we will delve into next in the next presentation, cost of quality and quality function deployment. I mentioned here briefly. And then we're going to talk about employee empowerment, continuous improvement, and process capability throughout. So let's start with the definition of the systems with total quality management. Total quality management is an approach to quality which makes it to where it becomes part of the organization's culture. You're saying we're going to achieve customer satisfaction over a long term by actually infusing quality in everything we do. Looking at getting everyone involved, that employee empowerment side, infusing continuous improvement, so we learn from our mistakes and we look for ways to continually improve how we make our products, how we deliver our services, and we establish a culture in a way that we work to achieve quality in every aspect. You know, when I first started at one of the companies I worked for, they had a sign in the manufacturing building, and it said, "Do it right the first time." Do it right the first time is a typical total quality management statement. What it's saying is, on all attempts, do it right the first time to prevent having to redo it, building quality into your product and your processes. As I mentioned earlier, quality should be defined by your customer. So, even in total quality management, what does that mean? How do I make sure that when I do my work, that is passed on to the next person, I don't get the work back? So I need to understand the customer's expectations, and then I need to understand how I can meet those expectations through the process of manufacturing the work or the product. And then what else do I need to add in there as far as features or needs to achieve their goals, the customer's goals? One tool that is used that kind of sets up the T, so to speak, for total quality management and other tools such as benchmarking and even product design is a tool called Functional Deployment, or QFD, House of Quality. What it does is it's a process in which you go through and figure out what your customers' requirements are by asking them what they want, what do they need, and differentiating between wants and needs by ranking them in the level of importance. And that's done on the left-hand side here. What we have is a grid in the middle, that light blue square. That's a grid that's going to match up customer requirements to, on the right-hand side, the list of competitor offerings. What are the competitors' products doing or services doing in comparison to what the customer needs? Then on the top and the bottom of this matrix, you put in the design requirements or technical requirements that your company can do, and where the customer importance is high and your technical capabilities are high, that's what you want to focus on in meeting the quality form, fit, function, and conformance to that standard. That's how standards are established. This correlation matrix is known as the House of Quality, and it is used in service industries and manufacturing industries all around the globe. There are books upon books on this topic if you are so interested in digging into this further. So this can set the stage for setting those standards. Once the standards have been established and processes have been established, there's another method to the madness as far as ensuring quality, and that is through Six Sigma. Now, you may see this in job postings all over the place. Six Sigma is like a training program that you become certified in managing this process of looking at variations that cause defects in products and processes. So looking at measuring the defects and statistically figuring out their significance, and then eliminating the variation. Variation causes defects in all times. So we look at the inputs and the outputs, look at using statistical analysis to figure out what the variation is and eliminating it. There are different types of variation: special kind, special causes. Those are the sources of the process that can be isolated and that may have a significant magnitude on the negative outcome or the defect. These are the ones we like to find and eliminate. And then common causes. These are variations that are inherent over time, like fatigue, wear and tear, and so on. Temperature, things that are common. The goal is to eliminate special causes as immediately, just root cause, get them out of there, and then common causes, mitigate them as much as possible. This is done through the Six Sigma process called DMAIC, or some people just spell it out, DMAIC, which is the process of defining the issue, measuring it, doing statistical analysis to figure out the significance of the variation to the issues, analyzing, improving it, and then controlling it, all the while you're going through the statistical review. So we're not going to cover this in great detail, but it is a valid method to the madness of reducing variation and improving quality. So this week we've covered the definition of quality and quality systems and methods. Please let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing from you. Otherwise, have a great week.